Hi everyone, my name is Agni and I recently graduated from MIT as part of the class of 2020. I actually graduated with 4 degrees in 4 years. Those were number 1, a Master's of Engineering in Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, 2, a Bachelor's degree in Computer Science and Engineering from the School of Engineering, 3, a Bachelor's degree in Mathematics from the School of Science, and 4, a minor in Economics from the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Now in quarantine with ample time on my hands, before I'm due to start my first full-time job as a machine learning engineer at Apple, I've been reflecting on my time at university and some of the integral choices I made along the way. When I came to MIT, I knew I wanted to do math or computer science. In high school, I'd done a few math contests, Olympiads, and I'd done moderately well. I didn't have much experience with computer science, but I knew it was a natural derivative of math, and that made me want to pursue it too. This video is going to be about my undergraduate journey and some of the insights I gathered when going through this sort of balancing act, where I was trying to balance all the academics I wanted to do and have a fulfilling social life at the same time. And I treated it sort of like an optimization problem, and solving that optimization problem was one of the most rewarding journeys I've been on. Tip number 1 is definitely figuring out whether multiple degrees is worthwhile for you. There are pros and cons to it. I found that in terms of recruiting, multiple degrees doesn't really help you. You just have to perform well and make an impression during your interviews. But in terms of giving you a better, wider, broader knowledge base, multiple degrees is definitely where it's at. In college, this gives you new experiences as well because you get to meet people you wouldn't have had otherwise in different department gatherings. You get to be taught by professors in different departments, meet project groups, work with them, learn more about people, and also give yourself, an opportunity to be anti-mainstream in some way and, work with that newfound courage that you have about even embarking on such a journey. I'd say it's very rewarding and is a huge self-confidence booster. Tip number 2 is studying course catalogs and college-wide requirements. At the beginning of the semester and your undergraduate career, you will have the opportunity to meet with an academic advisor who is responsible for helping you build out a course plan, and especially for freshmen, the classes that they want to shop for during their first semester. And it really helps, despite whether the fact that you have a idea of your major or not, to have a good idea about what classes you might want to pursue, or an understanding about how the major that you are eyeing works in terms of requirements and such, because your advisor can then answer specific questions that you have and help you in a more nuanced way. And I think that this technique of being really prepared to your first meeting with your advisor gives you that leg up above your peers and enables you to start that journey on the right foot. It was actually at my first meeting with my advisor that I even found out about the Master's of Engineering program at MIT that was open to computer science undergrad majors, and the fact that there was only a qualifying GPA requirement to get in, which was super streamlined. And this really gave me an idea and started to get the wheels turning about what I should do in my undergraduate career in terms of research experiences and such to get to those points that I wanted to get to, that I was able to see were doable. My next tip is making use of previous course credit. Like many universities, MIT has requirements that you have to fulfill regardless of what major you are pursuing in order to graduate. These are baseline classes like biology, chemistry, physics, 8 humanities classes, and a few other requirements that they want everybody to have. And these can slow you down when you are very sure or have a good idea of what path you want to follow, or are very dedicated to your major early on. And one great thing to do is to try to leverage any college-like class you may have taken in high school. A lot of colleges allow AP credit to take the place of some introductory classes. MIT does, but only for a very, very limited subset of classes, meaning that I had to look into some other avenues about how to get that sort of head start. And that was the power of transfer credit for me. I took some classes at Georgia Tech when I was in high school as a dual enrolled student, and these came in useful when I applied for transfer credit at MIT, and that gave me a head start on my computer science major and being able to take more advanced classes in my first semester and onwards. Tip number 4 is mapping out a course road during your freshman year. Bringing to your advisor an actual map of what classes you plan to take to fulfill your degree is, I think, really great, because it shows your advisor your proactiveness, and it also enables you to set the pace of how you want to go. At MIT, advisors are responsible for verifying and checking you off on your registration, and they strongly discourage when you try to take way more classes than you did in, say, a previous semester. And of course, with double major or more, degrees or a minor or things like that, you end up having a lot of course requirements. And so being able to say, hey, here's my pace initially, will give them a better chance of, accepting that and letting you take that pace forward in future semesters. I'd say the pace for me was about 1 or 2 more classes than people usually did. But the way I got down to that and not having to do even more than that is looking at the course catalogs again and combing those and seeing, are there any classes that can apply to both my computer science and math major? And there were a couple, especially in the theoretical science, computer science realm. And then there was even a class, networks, that worked for all 3 of math, comp sci, and economics. And this sort of careful combing really enables you to see what those overlaps are, see if there are any, see, how can you best optimize classes that you like to do within your major, but also see if that matches up with and links with some classes that you have in other majors as well as a requirement. And that really gets you into that streamlined sort of schedule. And then giving that to your advisor really enables them to be on the same page with you. Tip number 5 is engaging in a variety of internships. A challenge that comes with having to take a lot of classes is that you have to give some up, even though they have some really, really interesting course descriptions. So I found that doing internships in a variety of fields definitely fills those gaps. I did internships in software engineering, data science, machine learning, research, and then in my breaks over MIT's independent activities periods or winter breaks or summer breaks, I do some entrepreneurial things and more work on my research. Tip number 6 is following through and adjusting for an optimal balance. Making a course road is one thing, but following through with it really takes discipline and drive and a commitment to gradual improvement. And you have to be able to allow yourself some room to wiggle, just like you have cheat days for a diet. It's sort of similar there. And you have to be able to build in to your course road some wiggle room to account for potential burnout or you switching your mind about what sector of your major you want to concentrate in. And I actually, my junior spring, took a semester off to intern at Apple in Seattle. I did have an outstanding course that I needed to take, so I actually flew back and forth between Boston and Seattle to take exams. Wild journey. But I found that was super useful for me because I did my internship in health AI, and that's what I ended up pursuing for my master's degree as well, my 4th year. And that sort of break from the grind of MIT was really, really beneficial for me. And that was only enabled by the fact that I had allowed that sort of wiggle room in my course load. I hope these tips were of some use to you, whether you're in college or planning your college journey. And I've also written a post about whatever I've spoken about in this video in a more detailed form. It's in the description if you want to take a look. I think college is one of the best journeys you'll ever have in your life, and making the best of it is so important. So please let me know what content you'd like to see about MIT, about getting your first job, about women in tech, entrepreneurship, anything. And please also like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.